conservative, incredibly, I don't know if I would say like super traditional, but like just very like strict. Like my parents are super strict. So I felt like I always had like this really big voice, but it was always internalized.
Yeah.
And my parents just like, you know, they're product of trauma and war, right? So they just want the best for their kids. And you know, went through Catholic school. I think I've told this story a couple times, but like I just always felt like at home I had to be a certain template of a daughter or a Hmong girl, and then at school I had to be like a Catholic kind of whitewashed version of myself. And I always felt like I didn't really know my voice, but I didn't really have like the opportunity to explore my voice and amplify it. And now that I have that ability, I talk a lot and I think I need to listen more, but I would love to be able to like provide that platform for others too, you know? So that's really what my platform is all about. And when you ask me like what I do, it's like I kind of do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like I am a producer. I really love producing shows. I love part of like the shows that I do is really always around BIPOC people or our home community and arts and creatives. Like I want to elevate them and I want to find opportunities where, you know, somebody who, you know, one of my really good friends who just texted me, Vicky Yang, you know, she has an incredible voice and incredible talent. And I want to be able to give her as much visibility as possible because she deserves that. And so I do that a lot with our Hmong community, but I also just care a lot about like just people who are traditionally, they don't have like the opportunities to show up the way that other people might be able to show up, whether they are privileged people or white people or wealthy people. And I find ways. I'm a doer. I can navigate through a lot of really hard situations and find ways to make things work, you know?
No, that's beautiful. And you had said growing up you went to a Catholic school? Is that here in Minneapolis?
No, I grew up in Wausau, Wisconsin. Shout out to Wausau.
Okay.
Yeah, Wausau, Wisconsin. So I went to Catholic school my whole life until the 10th grade, where I decided, like, I was the first child in my family that said, I want to go to a public school. My mom was like, why? Because, like, my three older siblings, like, they did their, like, at the end of high school, you actually have to go on, like, a mission trip. And I wasn't interested in that. Like, I wanted to actually go and explore like, the real world.
Right.
Like, not like a bubble of a world, you know, where everything seems really great. Like, I wanted to prepare myself for what the world was really going to be like. And so I had begged my mom to go to public school. And it was really hard for her, but she said, fine, if that's what you want to do, then that's what I will support. And it was really through public school that changed who I was as a person. I had access to people who looked like me, who spoke Hmong like me, because I never really spoke Hmong, only at home. But even then, I was like embarrassed to do it, you know? And so going to public school changed my life. I had opportunities that like I don't think I would have had at a parochial school.
Right.
So
why Catholic school? Is that just what your parents...
They're just super religious.
Okay.
They still are.
Yeah.
And I think the way that they had thought traditionally was like, when they came to America, right? They thought like the standard is to be mikado, like, and to be wealthy. And so a lot of that was tied also to the religion.
Yep.
And so that's why. So all of us went to Catholic school, and I think also like it was their way of like making sure we weren't going to be like minyolai, you know, because it's like what they thought we were going to be, which I ended up being one anyway. But yeah, that's why. So.
Yeah, because like I feel like there are a lot of like Hmong kids like in like that are like uber religious, and then like a lot of Hmong kids like I have a cousin that went to a Catholic school and he went through the whole program. He definitely enjoyed it, but I think that's one of the things he said he missed out on was like he felt like he wasn't a part of like the real
society
world, the world outside
of
that.
it,
Yeah. And you do like kind of grow up in a bubble, but I feel like that way. I feel that way, just in my own sense, where it's like I felt like I grew up in the bubble, growing up in the inner city, like because when you grow up in the inner city, like that's all you see around you, and so then it's like created.
What was that experience like?
Like
because you were in North Minneapolis.
Yeah,
which is as ghetto as it gets.
Yeah. Really? Okay, I don't know. So
you'll learn. You just moved here to the Twin Cities.
Oh, I'm gonna learn real quick.
Yeah. Just take it down Broadway.
But like, I didn't know that. Like, I knew I was Hmong. I didn't understand what it meant to be a minority until I got out of the city.
Really?
Like when I went to college, like I was like, oh, I'm only one of the 3 colored kids here. Where I was like, there was maybe 3 white kids in my graduating class. So like the term minority, like I always kind of like hated that, and I was like, oh, dude, why call it that?
Yeah, because
But, like,
there really wasn't a minority when you grew up in North Minneapolis.
yeah, because like when I grew up in
You're the
Minneapolis, I was
average.
like, oh,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
we're the majority, and
yeah.
I thought this is how the world worked.
Well,
Sure.
how many?
And then I got
Sure.
out of that, and I was like, I'm a minority.
Yeah,
Like
in your
yeah.
Catholic school, were there a lot of minorities as far as like races?
No.
Okay.
There wasn't, and that was exactly it. Like, I think my identity, I thought, was like the ultimate is to be like my friends. They
Yeah.
were very wealthy, like far beyond like the average, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you know, like, and so I would often look at myself, and I was always like the poor kid, like the kid that was not privileged, but yet like I was very well liked. Like I just, I don't know. I think I just always kind of had like connections with people, and so I was very well liked and stuff. But then even then, I felt really like an outsider because I would go to their homes, and I'm like, my parents don't have this. Like,
Yeah.
we're literally on food stamps and
Yeah.
reduced lunch. Like, we don't
Yeah.
have this.
And it-
So I always thought like this is the ultimate. This is what you work for. So
Yeah.
I would often feel like so ashamed to like say that these are my parents and this is like where I came from. And I wanted to just adopt like the really whitewash culture. And then I think like I'm actually really grateful I went through that because
Yeah.
now I like realize how wrong that felt
Yeah.
back then, even because I always felt like I was like an imposter. And now I feel like the most aligned and most authentic, you know, because I'm rediscovering my culture and
Yeah.
rediscovering who I am as a person and like learning about our culture. I don't know if you guys have just sat. I know you went on a trip with your family and like
Yeah,
explored
just
that,
recently,
right?
yeah.
I went with my family to Thailand and Laos, but I don't think I was like in a space
In the mindset.
to like
discover.
really appreciate what it is. So my family and we are going back next February.
Nice.
Okay.
And we're really going to explore that. And I would love to learn more about your journey too, because now I'm in a headspace where I can take that in and like appreciate it more. Like that was like where they came from.
And
where
I've
I
heard
came
that.
from.
I've heard that with different Hmong people too, like that go there as kids or teenagers or early adults. But like you said, it's about the headspace. So if you're
Yeah.
going there because your parents are saying, "Hey, we're going to Laos,"
And they're
you're-
telling you all these
and
stories,
you're
it
like,
doesn't
"Okay, we're going to
connect,
Laos."
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, you're still going to Laos, but it's not the same experience as when you say, "I'm going to go to Laos and I'm going to look at everything with like as if I was visualizing myself living here," right?
Right.
Because that's really the lens that I took when I went there was like, let's just imagine I'm actually living here,
Right.
what it would be like, and could I actually do it, you know? And yeah, I could. I
Yeah.
mean, shit, it seemed pretty cool to me.
Because
Well,
how
how
old
long-
were you? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead,
I was going to say, like, how long were you there?
Oh, we were only
for?
there for like 16 days, so it was like extremely rushed.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you had, I know you shared that video too.
yeah,
I
we went
shared
to a
it as
couple
well.
places. We went to Luang Prabang and Vientiane and Longchang and shit, all over, yeah,
Like
a lot
all
of
the
places.
smaller villages
Yep,
too. Like
yep.
the real deal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Not
I mean,
just
I
the
think it's good if
touristy
you find it important. Like, I wouldn't say go to Laos for all Hmong people. Like, that's what I would want. But if you're not interested in that, then don't go. But
Right.
if you're interested in like
Yeah.
finding out what it feels like to be there, then by all means you should. I think that
Yeah.
it rounds the whole experience together. I mean, it did for me, but some people don't care. It's all good.
And everyone's on their own journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's
right?
on their
So-
own path. So.
It's almost like, man, I almost feel bad. If
Well, you're
you
a
don't
farmer,
care.
dude. You get along. You
Yeah,
get along
I-
with them great.
Oh, dude, I would love it. I would love.
Yeah.
Well, me and my wife, we went down to Thailand
Oh, you did.
a long time ago, but it wasn't like we didn't go to the small villages. We did all the touristy stuff.
Oh, nice.
We did
That's
meet.
okay.
We did
I did
meet
that
like
too.
a bunch of like locals and stuff like that. And so but one of the best times I've had there was like meeting some local kids, and then another time was just like talking with like a local strawberry farmer down there. I think she was like trying to sell me her strawberry farm.
Yeah.
Because she probably thought I was some rich American, but I was like, no,
So you bought it, is what you said?
yeah. So I actually own land in Thailand, so
Yeah.
maybe we'll go down there.
All right, sick.
Do you for real own it?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay. I was like, wait,
no,
hold on.
no way.
I don't get your
You
humor
probably
yet.
easily could.
No,
gosh.
but I wish there's not a day that goes past where I don't think about that. Where I'm like, man, I could have been farming strawberries in Thailand.
But hey, let me ask you. Let's go back to because I'm curious.
Okay.
I'm
Sorry,
curious.
just
I'm
off
I'm
curious.
ready.
Shoot, now I lost my train of thought. Oh no, this is my question. You went to Catholic school and you felt like you wanted to kind of go away from